Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the webinar tonight. We're so excited to be hosting you alongside Sty-Lives and Malibu C. My name is Carly Ann, and I am representing Ontario Professional Hairstylists Association tonight. The OPHA, the Ontario Professional Hairstylists Association, is a Canadian volunteer-based nonprofit dedicated to upholding the integrity of the hairstylist profession and advocating for its members in Ontario. OPHA aims to unite and assist licensed professional hairstylists and registered hairstylist apprentices by being a voice to government and community partners on regulations, licensing, and hairstylist standards. The organization strives to promote excellence, maintain health and safety standards for clients, contributors, and partners, while sustaining the future of the profession through training, apprenticeship, mentorship, and accountability. Tonight, I'm so excited for this. We will be hearing from Katie from Save Your Skin Foundation, who will be giving an overview of the Sty-Lives, how to participate in the program, the Hair Heroes Challenge, and what amazing prizes participants can win. Then we will pass it over to Missy Peterson, who is a certified clinical trichologist. She will be diving into scalp science and how to use the innovative head lab as a stylist. The Save Your Skin Foundation is a national patient-led, not-for-profit group dedicated to the fight against non-melanoma skin cancers, melanoma, and ocular melanoma through nationwide education, advocacy, and awareness initiatives. One of these initiatives is Sty-Lives, a program designed to empower hairstylists to potentially save their clients' lives by incorporating scalp checks into their routine hair appointments. I would love to pass it over to Katie, Save Your Skin's marketing specialist, to delve into Sty-Lives and Hair Heroes further.
Hi, everybody. Just double checking everyone can hear me. Yep. Okay. So my name is Katie. Thank you so much for having me today and for attending this webinar. So as Carly said, I'm the marketing specialist at Save Your Skin Foundation, and I'm really excited to introduce Sty-Lives and the Hair Heroes Challenge to you today. So to start, what is Sty-Lives? It is a Canadian initiative which aims to empower and educate hairstylists and barbers to detect potential skin cancers on the ears, face, and scalp of their clients. It was led by 2 medical students with the support of us, Save Your Skin Foundation, and a team of dermatologists. So it actually started because one of the founders, who was a medical student at the time but has since graduated, came up with the concept when she was doing her residency at a dermatology clinic. In quite a few cases, she was noticing people coming in and they had the spots on their heads that were noticed by their hairstylist. So then she thought that it would be a great idea to try and legitimize this and empower hairstylists to have that conversation with their client. So the concept behind Sty-Lives is that hair professionals who choose to participate are provided with a 5-minute training video, and then they are sent printed resources to facilitate the conversation with their client should they find something suspicious on their scalp. The purpose of this project is to increase early detection of potentially dangerous skin cancers, not to train hair professionals to diagnose skin cancers. This is a really important distinction, as we don't want it to be an intimidating process where hairstylists feel like they have to become dermatologists and try and diagnose their client with a skin cancer or a spot. It's more so just about feeling empowered to have that conversation and then to refer your client to a dermatologist who will then take it from there. So that's why we really deliberately kept the training super simple, because we don't want a hairstylist to feel overwhelmed with information or to feel like they're not qualified to do it. It's really just about facilitating a conversation. And we want anyone to feel that they can and should have a role to play in the early detection of skin cancer. I also just want to take the time to acknowledge that I know a lot of hairstylists and hair professionals are already doing this important work. So we really just want to help bring awareness to it and to help legitimize it and support you, the hairstylist, in continuing to do it. And I also just want to let everyone know as a disclaimer that I myself am not a dermatologist, so this is not medical advice. It's just our professional opinion on how hairstylists can help with early detection of skin cancer. So moving on, just to some facts and figures on skin cancer. So You might already know this, but skin cancer is the most common of all cancers, and 1 in 6 Canadians born in the 1990s will get skin cancer in their lifetime. We are seeing actually more and more young people get skin cancer, which is why early detection and protection is so important. And there are more new cases of skin cancer each year than the number of breast, prostate, lung, and colon cancers combined, which is a very large number if you think about it. And so melanoma, I've said before, is the deadliest form of skin cancer, and it's also the most common. So melanoma is the most common form of skin cancer and is now the 7th most common cancer in Canada and the 4th most common among people ages 15 to 29. And it's also one of the few cancers with incidence rates on the rise amongst Canadians. In males, the incidence rate for melanoma has increased by 2.2% per year since 1984. And in females, the incidence rate has increased by 2% each year since 1994. So unfortunately, even though we are able to prevent skin cancer, the incidence rate is on the rise, which is why initiatives like this are so important. So now again, exposure to ultraviolet radiation through exposure to sunlight, tanning beds, and sun lamps appears to be a major risk factor for melanoma. Other risk factors can be number of type of mold, fair complexion, family history, and things like that. Okay, so now moving over to Sty-Lives, I want to answer the important question of why should hairstylists get involved? So skin cancers that are located on the scalp, neck, and face are associated with a higher rates of reoccurrence and are often more aggressive. But unfortunately, a lot of these high-risk areas are difficult for patients themselves to detect because a lot of times in the back of your ear or back of your scalp, and especially with people with a lot of hair, it's really hard to see that themselves. So while performing the various tasks related to their job, hairstylists actually inspect these areas anyway. And one study that we did found the majority of hairstylists actually already examining their scalps, regardless of being asked to do so. Again, so skin cancers that are located on the scalp, neck, or face can be more dangerous, hard to self-examine, and they do this all the time. So it's 3 very easy facts and reasons why people should participate in Sty-Lives. And again, the sooner skin cancer is detected, the earlier it can be treated, and the fewer chances of it spreading or causing extensive damage or death, which is again why early detection is so important, especially with younger people. So now I'd like to share a few acronyms with you today that will kind of help with hairstylists with detecting skin cancer spots, or at least potentially suspicious spots. So the first of the A, B, C, D, E is skin cancer. So the first is asymmetry, which means kind of what shape it is. If you notice that the mole is in an interesting or an odd shape and it's not symmetrical, that could be a potentially suspicious sign. The second B is border. So if it's kind of a rigid border, as you can see in the photo, also could be a potential red flag. C is color. So you can see in the image there, it's kind of discolored in certain spots and is not uniform. Also, again, a potentially dangerous mole. 5 is diameter. If it's more than 5 millimeters, it could be potentially dangerous. And E is evolving. So let's say you're a hairstylist and you see a mole on your client's scalp and you tell them about it, and then 2 months later, they come back and you notice it's different shape, different size, different color. It's also a potential red flag. So what steps should hairdressers follow? So step 1 is look. So as you wash, comb, cut, or style your client's hair, just look for any suspicious spots on their neck, face, and scalp. So again, this can be big or small, but just anything that you might not have seen before. And we're not asking you to do anything different. And we know that many of you actually do this work already. So again, this is just the hairs acronym that I already explained. So the second would be to assess. So if you see a spot on their skin, go through the hairs acronym from the previous slide in your head and notice if the spot's characteristics are suspicious. So kind of like I said before, if it's getting bigger, if it's changing, if the diameter is big. So if you do notice that, mention the spot to your client and ask them if they are aware of it and also how long it has been there. 3 is to write. So I'll go over this in a little bit, but when you join the Sty-Lives program, you're given printed materials. So one of these is this fantastic business card, where if you see a spot that's suspicious, you're able to write it down, let your client know which date, location of the spot, and other information that you might have noticed. You then give this business card to your client so they can put it in their wallet and then bring it with them when they go to their dermatologist appointment, just to make sure they have all of the information. Four is photograph, if possible. If it's able to be seen on a picture, it'd be great to take a photo so again, they can refer back to it with their dermatologist. Five is provide. So we have those business cards, but we also have brochures, which we'll show you in a minute. And you can cut off the last section of the brochure and give it to your client. And that contains information on how to find a dermatologist and also contact information if they need support or if they don't have their dermatologist themselves. Six is record. So this will be more on your side. You just want to record the date of the interaction, how many resources you gained, and any other notes or comments you have on the Sty-Lives form. This will help you just to remember and also follow up with them and also help us evaluate the success of the program and if we need to make any changes. Okay, so how to participate. All hair professionals in Canada are eligible to participate. To get started, you can visit saveourskin.ca/Sty-Lives. We'll be putting that link in the chat, and you'll be contacted within 3 business days by a member of our team to discuss the next steps. You'll also be given the video and other resources and the printed materials. And once you've received and completed the short training, you're ready to get started detecting lesions. So again, like I said, you get some printed materials. So this is the business card I was talking about where you will give your client and write down the information for them. And it's just big enough so it can go into their wallet so that they don't forget about it. You'll also receive these brochures. So part of that is the part I told you about where you'll cut piece off to get your client to find a dermatologist. This also just contains information on the Sty-Lives program. If you'd like to refer other hairstylists or if your client has any questions about it, you can kind of read more about it here. And then we also send, just go back one. We also send this poster over here, which is just a reminder for hairstylists what to be looking for. So again, height, age, irregularity, region, surface, or the ABCs that I went over before. So now that you guys know about the Sty-Lives program, it's my pleasure to introduce the Hair Heroes Challenge, which is a challenge that we have been running alongside OPHA for 2 years now. So the Hair Heroes Challenge started last year when we really wanted to accelerate and incentivize people to join Sty-Lives. And we had a goal last year, 100 hairstylists to join within the challenge program, and we have the same goal this year. So the Hair Heroes Challenge this year is running from February up until April 19th with a possible extension. Stay tuned for that. And essentially, it encourages hairstylists or hair students to film a video of them checking their clients' scalps for potential spots as they just do their routine hairstyle. So we ask people to film a 30-second video, nothing too much, and to post on the social media platform of their choice with the hashtag HairHeroes2024. And then you'll be entered to win some amazing prizes. So it's my pleasure to introduce the prizes that we have. One of them is the La Roche-Posay Mystery Prize Pack. Another one is 2 one-hour coaching sessions from beauty expert and who is also our host tonight, Carly-Ann Moore, who has a lot of experience in the beauty industry. The third are 2 Malibu C head lab devices, courtesy of the amazing Central Beauty Supply, which you'll be hearing more about from Missy Peterson later today. The fourth is a pearl hair package from Women's Zone. The fifth is a gold hair package from Men's Zone. And the sixth is a Well and Mystery Prize Pack. So we're excited to have almost 10 winners of the Hair Heroes Challenge this year. So make sure that you either film your own video or send this to the hairstylist in your life so they can participate.
Thank you, Katie. We will put the link, I actually believe it's already in there, to the Sty-Lives in the chat. You can also find the Hair Heroes information on the webpage as well. So do not forget to submit your videos. I'm writing my to-dos of submit my videos right now. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat, questions about Sty-Lives or Hair Heroes Challenge. I'm going to give you a minute to do so now, and I'll keep an eye on that chat. And then I can send those questions over to Katie. And I'm sure if you think of questions after this, reach out to Katie. Okay. I'll keep an eye on this chat, Katie, and when questions come up, I'll let you know, but.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Should we move on?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, it is now my pleasure to introduce the next part of the webinar led by Malibu C. As pioneers of wellness solutions in the beauty industry since 1985, the mission statement of Malibu Wellness is tried and true. to solve problems for every human being using nature-inspired, patented technologies. Malibu C is a professional hair care brand based in science, not marketing hype. Leading this educational session on the Head Lab technology is Missy Peterson, the senior global educator for Malibu C and a certified clinical trichologist. She is a salon owner herself. She found her passion from an early age, and her signature work ethic and hunger for knowledge has made her a master of her craft. She has pivoted her business as a color expert to a head spa owner and now provides scalp services exclusively to her clients, including many with hair loss. Missy, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you so much, Carly. Thank you guys for having us, for having me, for having Malibu C. We are so excited to be able to share what it is that we do and how Head Lab actually supports the mission that you're doing, because it is so, so, so important. A lot of people don't realize that stylists, we see and hear things that, doctors and counselors don't even see or hear. So having a resource like this with Sty-Lives to be able to really help our clients, take care of themselves in a wellness manner, it's so exciting for all of us. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Oh, maybe not. Here we go. Let's try this again. And we'll go big so you can see it. It's working on a little delay, so you guys will have to let me know if you can see anything. This happens every single time that I'm live somewhere. It's the technology gods. They don't like it when I try to do technology because I'm supposed to be doing hair. So I'm excited to be here with Malibu C and talk to you about Head Lab and what that is, why we do what we do, how to do it, and how to incorporate it into your everyday business. So like Carly mentioned, I am a nerd. Education is where I go over and over and over and over. And so being in the industry for over 22 years, it really brought it to the forefront for me. Okay, well, what do you do next? As people, we move forward in our career and we don't necessarily want to be doing cuts and colors all day long. So Head Lab from Malibu C coming to the forefront gives stylists another avenue, another source of income to be able to really work with their guests and their clients to show them what's going on. Because like it was said, Malibu is not based in marketing. We never have been. We are truly a see it to believe it company, and we work on solutions based from nature, from wellness perspectives with vitamin C. So let's talk about why that's important. And the reason all of this is important is because every single person you come in contact with uses water. And when you think about everybody who sits in your chair, even if you're not using water, they're using water at home. And most stylists and barbers, we don't realize how much impact that water has on our hair, skin, and scalp. So every time water touches your hair, skin, or scalp, minerals build up. Those minerals cause problems on the scalp with blockage, on the hair with altering your color and your texture. And then we also are dealing with temperature too. So temperature variations can have an effect on hair as well, especially when you're dealing with someone who has curly hair and they're trying to control the frizz. That actually has a lot to do with it. So what Malibu C does is we provide professionals with even more control and confidence in every single service you do in the salon. So it doesn't matter what realm or what specialty you're in. What matters is you are hands-in and your clients use water. So helping your guests understand the truth truly is hiding in the water. Now in the US, over 85% of the households have hard water. And here's something that I stress with every class that I teach. You guys, water is water is water is water. All water has mineral. It's just a matter of what minerals and what concentration. So you will have people that will say, well, you know what, I don't need to do this because I have soft water. You have water that's been softened. You don't necessarily have mineral-free water. So help them understand that no one is exempt from this. And the cool thing about Head Lab is we are finally now able to physically show you what is happening on your scalp. So first they need to understand how this happens, right? So when you're looking at hair, here comes the nerdy part. Hair that's been oxidized generally has a negative charge. Minerals have a positive charge. So think about when you were younger in science class and you played with magnets. If you had two magnets and one was a negative, one was another negative, and you tried to push them together, what happened? They didn't go together, they repelled. But now you flip this over. Now you have a negative and a positive. Now what happens? They attach. It's a magnetic connection. That's what's happening with the minerals and your hair. Think about when you have to clean your bathroom, when you have to clean your shower door, or you have spots on your dishes. That is the same mineral that's building up and causing challenges on your hair and your scalp. So what Malibu C does is we teach total oxidation management. What that means is it's a lifestyle approach. It's not just a one and done in the salon. It's understanding that if we control oxidation, the damage that happens from oxygen interacting, we control a lot of things that happen with our hair, skin, and scalp. We do that with vitamin C, true vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid. And you guys, that's really, really important, especially with the industry the way that it is right now. Understanding that vitamin C, you'll see it in a lot of different forms. You'll see a lot of different words that are claiming to be vitamin C. What you want to look for is ascorbic acid. Now, something about vitamin C that I found extremely interesting is that vitamin C has a short shelf life. It is only truly potent and active for about 2 weeks. So if we were to activate our ascorbic acid in the lab and then put it in a bottle, by the time it got to you, it would actually be sugar. So that's why it's important to understand that Malibu C comes in packets, because the vitamin C is true vitamin C. It's ascorbic acid, and it is not activated until you activate it. So you don't have to worry about if it works. So what does that have to do with Head Lab and Head Spa? Well, Head Spa has actually been around for centuries, and it originated in Asia. And when they are looking at hair, they're looking at it from a different perspective. So in the Asian culture, they start at the scalp and then go to the hair. Where I know in the US, we're taught to focus on the hair and then we learn about the scalp. So incorporating this globally has been amazing to help people all around the world understand that to have beautiful, healthy hair, you have to have a healthy scalp. So that's where Head Spa comes into play. Head Spa is a whole feeling. It's the aromatherapy, it's massage, it's understanding a holistic approach and using holistic practices. So when you take those approaches and practices and you blend them with the science that Malibu C has pioneered, and as you heard, we've been around almost 45 years. And the cool thing about this too is that the vitamin C hasn't changed. Ascorbic acid has not changed because it didn't need to. It's effective in the form that it's in. So that made me as a stylist really feel comfortable using a product that I know, okay, this hasn't had to be formulated 50 different times to make sure that it works. The science is sound, so it works every time. So what this does, Malibu C, in conjunction with these new techniques, that allows stylists to go into a new realm in the salon. So it takes everything to a different level. It allows you to change your business model. And talking about looking at things on the scalp and finding a resource for your client to take to your doctor, this fits right in with Head Lab because we're actually going to teach you about the tool you need to be able to do this, not just your phone. You're going to be able to go deeper with it. So we're going to reveal what is real. Some of the things you're going to hear me talk about, I'm going to use the words complex compounds. Why that's important is because, as it was stated earlier, stylists are not doctors. It is not our job to diagnose. It's also not our job to try to pick apart everything that is on the scalp and for the stylist to feel that burden. So when I say complex compounds, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of the minerals that have attached to the hair. It's the scalp itself, the skin cells sloughing off, it's oils, it's product. It's all of those things together, because when you put individual things together, they become compounded. It's complex because it's all of them. So as a stylist, just know that you do not have to say, okay, this is calcium or this is magnesium or this is copper, because it would be impossible to do that. What you need to say is, I'm going to show you what's on the scalp. It shouldn't be there. And when we remove it, I'm going to be able to show you that too. So helping a stylist really be able to show that their product works. So with the science and the tools and the education behind it, that gives you guys confidence to be able to introduce this. And I will tell you that I have changed. So I'm an American board certified hair colorist as well. And in the beginning of my career, the first 20 years has been focused on color and corrective color. And then I actually got involved with associations with cancer. It affected my family personally. And I got into hair loss. And as I'm looking at hair loss and how I can help in Malibu C, Head Lab allowed me to pivot and to actually create a whole new salon where literally all I do is deal with scalp issues. And I do work with cancer patients. And we are the front line to be able to say, hey, did you know that something's there? And Malibu C gives you the tools to be able to see it, to document it, and to deal with scalp issues in a holistic manner. So keep that in mind. We're dealing with hair, skin, and scalp. Everybody uses water, and we're going to reveal what is real. So when we do this with a scope, and you can see it in the picture. And the way that I approach this with my clients is, we're going to take a look at your scalp, and you're going to see what I see at the exact same time, and we're going to talk about it. Now, when we do this, I'm going to look in different areas, and we'll talk about the head map that we've developed. So they're comfortable knowing we're going to look in different places, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if there's buildup on the hair, buildup on the scalp. I'm looking to see if anything's irritated. And also, if I see anything, any dark spots, I'm documenting that as well. So that's something that's been a passion project for me too, to be able to help clients with that. And then we're going to do the procedure. After that, I'm going to scope you again, and I'm going to show you how it worked. So it really is seeing is believing. So here is a small sample of before and an after picture. So when you're looking at the before, you're going to see that the scalp looks bumpy. It looks white. You can see here that there's skin that's actually lifted. When the client asks you, what is this? Oh my gosh, that's so awful. What is that? Your answer is, that is a buildup of complex compounds. That's a combination of all the things, all the product, all of your oil, sebum, mineral, all of it. The point being is that that is sitting on top of your scalp. When I do this, I actually do ask ahead of time, because some people are a little bit queasy. So I do ask, is it going to bother you to take a look at the scalp? Because some people, they do find it a little bit disgusting. Most people find it just, they're in awe of what you can actually see. The other place this comes into effect for me is if a client tells me, Missy, I don't need to have a Malibu treatment because I use this, that, or the other, or I already cleansed my hair today, or I use such and such clarifying treatment, or I removed minerals with this, that, or the other. At that point, I just bring out the scope and I say, you know what, let's just take a look. Let's just see what's there. And then we go from there. So bringing in Head Lab into the salon is going to open the door for every single customer that you have. When you do this, you're generating more service revenue. You're also generating more retail sales, because they're going to see what's on their scalp. They're going to see that you removed it, and then they're going to ask you, how do I keep this off of there? So this conversation was built to flow for you guys. So it would be really simple to incorporate this into the salon, and then really look and determine what the client actually needs. So when we talk about the Head Lab process, here's the entire thing. So it's not 20 different products that you have to learn and figure out how to use. You'll actually see that 2 of these steps is the same product. So inside the Head Lab kit, you have the Head Lab scope, the Malibu C Head Lab scope. You have Undo Goo shampoo, Head Lab Crystal Gel XL, Miracle Repair with cooling menthol, and that's it, you guys. The scope is on both ends. The Undo Goo is used twice. So it's really super, super simple to incorporate and very cost effective to incorporate into the salon. So when you're using this scope, and I wanted to show you guys my little, here's my setup. Here's what I do when I scope my clients when they come in. I use my iPad. You can use your phone. You can use your iPad, any tablet type device. And the scope, I always have 2. The reason I always have two is because I'm doing this all day long. And I want to make sure that one doesn't die. The charge lasts for about 2 hours. So keep that in mind. Always make sure that you have more than one. So here's some things that you want to know about the scope. And there are videos in our Metaversity that goes through everything I'm talking about. So you can reference that later and actually really dig in. So these guys are super simple to use. There's a power button, which also takes your pictures. There's a gauge that turns up your light. So here's a tip. Turn it all the way up and don't touch it again. That way you're not touching things every single time. There are also buttons on the back that zoom in and out. I will tell you, in the years of using this in the salon, I've never touched it. So for me, technology is not my friend, but this is super simple to use. So I just leave it on the basic settings and go from there. When using the scope, the cool thing about it taking pictures is I'm able to keep those pictures in my client's files. Being that it's taken on a tablet or a phone because it's working through an app, I'm able to then text that to the client. So not only can you guys give the card that says, hey, I found this and here's where it was, and give the information, which is an amazing resource. Now you can send a digital picture and say, okay, on this date, this is what it looked like. And the next time they come back, you're going to scope again. So you're going to be able to track the progression, which is going to help in so many different ways. So this tool is great for everybody. It's great for the receptionist. It's great for an apprentice. It's great for anybody to pick up and use. When I started using the scope, I scope everything, literally dogs, carpet, sweaters, everything, because you really want to play with it and get used to using it. And it's going to become your best friend. I say all the time in my classes, every time I pick up this scope, it makes me money. Because there's something different about hearing me say it, hey, okay, Carly, you need a treatment today, versus, hey, Carly, let's take a look at your scalp and let's see if you need a treatment today. There's never going to be a time where you're going to say, oh, you know what? You don't need a treatment, because they use water. So super simple to use. We have a QR code that you're able to scan that puts the app on your phone or your tablet. And again, all of this information can be accessed in the Metaversity. Once you have that down and you have it on your tablet, you've got your scope, you've plugged it in, you've charged it, you're ready to go. What we've done is we've put together a consultation form for you. Now, this asks basic questions, and it is geared toward lifestyle, not just their scalp. So we're asking, what medications are you taking? Do you have any hormonal fluctuations? Now, you have to be careful based on where you are and what questions you can ask. So make sure that you are in accordance with the regulatory processes that be in your area. But for me here in the US, I'm going to ask questions such as, are you pregnant? That lets me know if your hormones are fluctuating. I'm going to ask about your diet. I do ask you to bring me a sample of your water. I test your water first because that lets me know what I'm dealing with as far as how hard the water is. The harder the water, the more in depth those minerals can be. They've actually oxidized inside, so they're a little bit harder to remove. So that also strengthens the relationship, because think about it. Has anybody ever asked you to bring in water to the salon? But when I ask you, you're going to remember that. So I use this consultation form as a starting point. There are other questions that I ask depending on the answers that I get. So just know that this is a resource for you to start from. And if there are other things you want to add, feel free to do that. But this is the starting point that Malibu C felt was effective with HeadLab. Now, I spoke earlier about a head map. This is why this guy is important. When you're looking through the scope, everything is magnified. So scalp is going to look the same all over the place. When you're mapping the scalp, you want to be able to show the before and after pictures in the same area. Otherwise, they're not going to see what that difference is. So we created the head map. So zone 1 is an inch in from the hairline in the front. Zone 2 is an inch above the right ear. Zone 3, an inch above the left. Zone 4, right at the crown. 5 is at the occipital. And 6 is down at their bottom hairline. By snapping a before picture of all of these areas, you follow the same map to take your after pictures. That way you can go in and show the before and after. So here's an example, a quick example. So these are before pictures. This is what you would commonly see. The one that has the yellow, that is actually oxidized sebum. So that's oxidized oil. If that is left not in check, bacteria can come into play there, and there could be things going on underneath that oil that we can't see because it's masked. So I want to make sure that I point that out to my guests. All of that shouldn't be there. We need to remove it. It's not just oil, it's the complex compounds, the combination of everything. On the other slide, you'll see that it's white, it's bumpy, and you can see that there's debris coming up the hair shaft itself. That shouldn't be there. So we want to tell them we want a clean canvas. We should be able to see shine on the scalp. We should be able to see a clear follicle all the way around the hair itself. We should be able to see the diameter. So here's the afters. And when you're going back and forth and they saw the before and they saw the yellow and they think it's the worst thing ever, and then you can go and show them the after and show that this process worked. And the thing is, we did it with a vitamin C treatment. We did it with a treatment that didn't cause oxidation at all and plays in the wellness category. So you can see what I'm referring to with the follicle itself. Now you can see all the way to the base of that hair shaft. You can see that there is a shine to the scalp, and you can actually see all the creases in the skin. The complex compounds are no longer blocking what's going on. Now, as a trichologist, I do deal with a lot of hair loss clients. And I will tell you that a lot of people who are going through just a general hair loss, just telogen effluvium, that can actually be helped with just maintaining the scalp. So putting my clients on a regimen of consistent head lab treatments, that allows me to regulate things so I can then decide where we go with treatment. So here's another before and after. You can see that there's white on the one on the left-hand side. It's raised from the hair. Chances are this is causing some inflammation, and it's also causing some itch and possibly some flaking going on. Again, you are not going to diagnose. You are going to say, hey, you have extreme buildup of complex compounds and we need to remove that. This is the after picture. So just being able, again, to show, to reveal what is real, the scope is going to help you in your business. When we designed this, every product in the head lab process is scalp centric. So start using that word. When I introduce scalp care to clients who have never thought about it before, I talk to them about their skincare regimen. I talk to them about their facials. How frequently do you cleanse your face? How frequently do you exfoliate your face? What are you using product-wise on your skin? Because your scalp is skin. So when a client talks to you and says, I don't shampoo, but every 7 days, start talking to them about their skin. That's going to ease into the conversation about the scalp. So when I talked about the products earlier in the Head Lab kit, this is Undo Goo shampoo. Undo Goo shampoo is a clarifying shampoo. It's got a pH of 9 or greater. Why that's important, why you care, is because to have a higher pH is going to help to swell the cuticle. Notice I did not say open, I said swell. The pH at 9 is important because water is going to affect that pH. So we need the pH to be high enough. If your water is, say, a pH of 6.5, the 9 is still going to be effective. We needed the 9. So if your pH of your water is an 8.2, the 9 is still effective. The other thing with the high pH, though, a lot of people get confused and think, oh my gosh, it's high pH, it's going to strip the hair. Undo Goo does not strip anything. It removes surface resins. So what that means is that you could use this as a daily shampoo. I actually did for years use this as my daily shampoo. So it's got the pH of 9, which is important to swell the cuticle, but it's also important because the pH of vitamin C is so low. When you're using this in the Head Lab process, you use it before the crystal gel to cleanse the palate, to remove the resins. We're going to use Undo Goo again after the crystal gel, but we're doing it for a different reason. We're using it because the pH will actually balance out from the crystal gel itself. So keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in the back of your head too, will not strip the hair, and use this daily. Then we talk Crystal Gel XL. Those of you who know Malibu C, you know Crystal Gel. You know the original packet, it's white. And Crystal Gel XL is the same vitamin C technology. It is the same ascorbic acid. It's dry, activated when you activate it, But what we did was we added scalp-centric ingredients to work specifically for the scalp. So that being said, Crystal Gel and Crystal Gel XL will both remove minerals and medication. XL just has extra ingredients to really focus on the scalp. So in order to do that, the extra ingredients that we added was zinc or conditioning. And a lot of people don't know that zinc is actually a conditioning agent in a lot of different formulas. It does a lot of other great things too, but it's used as a conditioning agent here. Bentonite clay for absorbing and removing buildup. So the vitamin C, the bentonite clay, and the zinc together, that is Crystal Gel XL. When we're looking at zinc, zinc helps in oil regulation. It helps with many scalp conditions, such as dandruff, dried scalp. And please be aware too, again, we're not doctors, so do not diagnose. What we're saying is we're using these ingredients to maintain the health of your scalp. And these conditions, those happen because of triggers. So when we're using these products, we're making sure that we let people know that we're not curing anything. We are addressing the situation that you have on your scalp. So zinc and then bentonite. Bentonite is a really cool clay. It does a bunch of different things. When it's used the way we're using it, its job is to draw. So it's going to draw those impurities out of the follicles, away from the hair. It's going to actually absorb it. So then it can be removed when you cleanse. So the clay itself is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, which is why with Crystal Gel XL, you do not have to process as long as you would have with the traditional Crystal Gel. So the cool thing with this is that you mix with 6 ounces of water. We now have a different system, a mixing system that has an agitator ball in the bottom. The reason why you would care about that is because you guys know when we're mixing something up, especially if it's powdered, it can become clumpy in the bottle. Well, that ball makes sure that that doesn't happen. So here's a pro tip. You always want to add your dry to your wet. So put your water in your bottle first and then add the packet and shake. The agitator ball is going to make sure you have a nice consistency with no clumps. So when you're doing the process, you're going to shampoo with Undo Goo. You're going to rinse that. You're going to apply Crystal Gel XL to the scalp and to the hair in 1.5 inch to 1 inch sections. You're going to massage the scalp and work through scalp to ends if you choose. Now this is a video, and I'm actually not going to play the video for you because it's kind of weird because it's me in the video. So just know that any videos that we have, this is going over our massage techniques. It is in our Metaversity, and you can go back and you can watch it at your own pace and rewind. What you need to know about the massage technique, though, is it's very specific. So when you are doing the massage technique for Malibu C, you're going to hold up your hands. You're going to put your thumbs together. Now, when we go to shampoo hair, we automatically do this because we want to really get in there. For this massage, the whole goal is to manipulate the scalp so the circulation is flowing so the vitamin C can get in and do its job. So what we're doing is a massaging motion. We're going in and out, just push and pull. And we're doing it in different rotations on the scalp. And your arms will vary depending on your bowl, if you're standing behind or you're standing by the side. But just know that it's not a this, it's a this. And your clients will love you for it. So you're going to massage for up to 5 minutes. You're going to apply heat if necessary, and I'll go through that in a second. After you process, you're going to shampoo with Undo Goo again, and then you're going to use Miracle Repair. You guys, this is a vital step, and this is a step that a lot of people miss. If you are doing a Malibu service that is removing minerals and medication, so the Crystal Gel XL, you need to follow it with the Miracle Repair because it finishes the service. When you're looking at how long to process all of this, here's your key. It's this simple. If they've got mild buildup, 5 minutes with a massage is going to be adequate. If they have moderate, 5 to 10 minutes with a heat source. If it's severe, 10 to 20 minutes. I will tell you though, that in all the years I've been using this, I have never processed longer than 20 minutes because I haven't had to. This formula works so well that I don't have to have the long processing time. But here's a tip on how you know. So remember, we scoped in the beginning, right? We scoped in the beginning to be able to see how much buildup we had. So that's telling us how long we need to process. Say I've processed this guest for 10 minutes and I'm just not sure if it took everything out or not. So I'm going to scope again. I'm actually going to wipe off a section of their Crystal Gel XL. I'm going to scope. And since this is attached to my phone or to my iPad, I'm able to bring it right to the shampoo bowl or to my chair, wherever I'm processing the client. And then I'm able to see in real time, okay, if it's all removed, great, I can shampoo. If it's not, I need to process a little bit longer. So this tool shows you what you need to do and how long you need to do it. And it tells you when it's ready too. I mean, think about that, guys. We don't have anything else like that in the salon. So when we talk about a heat source with Malibu C, the heat sources can be anything that's constant and consistent. So what I mean by that is constant, meaning that it's on the entire time, globally over the head. Consistent, meaning that it's the same temperature the entire time. The reason we bring that up is because people will ask, can I take a blow dryer and just hold it? Well, the answer is technically you are still going to get some surface removal without heat, period. But you're not going to get the best results if it's not a global heat. So with XL, I said that you could do it with no heat, which you absolutely can. And that's because of the scalp-centric ingredients added. So the clay is what makes the difference in that processing time. A heat cap is great. We travel with those for all of our shows and classes. A traditional hood dryer, a heat ring, or a spa mist tube, which you see here. That's actually what I use in the salon because it is a micro mist and it increases the speed of the processing time. So I'm able to do a lot more in a lot less time. So I mentioned Miracle Repair. Miracle Repair is crazy important, and this is a newer ingredient list for Miracle Repair. It's that cooling menthol, so sticking with the scalp centric. Cooling sensation, it soothes and invigorates. It's great for aromatherapy. It's got plant-based, positively charged proteins. That's going to be important. I'll explain that in a second. And like I said, it's got menthol in it. So again, it's going to open up the senses. And menthol is what they call a vasodilator. So that means that it's going to help with controlling the dilation of the blood vessels. So getting the blood flow to go is why you would want to use a vasodilator. So the three different proteins that are in here are flax, quinoa, and rice. Why those are important are because they are all different sizes and all different weights. Remember when I went to the magnets and we had the hair that was negative and the mineral that was positive? Well, we removed the positive, right? Now we have a negative that doesn't have a partner. If you don't put a partner back, then you're going to have an open door for those minerals to go in and reconnect. So you have to give it a partner. That's what Miracle Repair is. It's your new positive charge that's going to connect. It's going to complete the partnership. So make sure that you're using these in conjunction. People do ask, can I just use a regular conditioner? Yes, absolutely you can after you use the Miracle Repair. But what you're going to find is you don't need to because it's got so many great ingredients in it. It's going to give you everything you need. So the menthol we're using along with spearmint and peppermint, so it's going to give you the cooling sensation. It's not a heavy mint smell though, so don't be worried that people are going to think it's too medicine-y or too minty. It's a really nice, even balanced smell. And being that it does what it does with refreshing and cooling, the menthol also has antibacterial and antifungal properties too. We've got Hydroxy Shield in there. And you guys, this polymer is a game changer. It does all of these things, but the one that I love the most is, yes, it's got amazing shine, it's got amazing slip, but it's heat protectant for up to 7 to 10 shampoos. So if it is somebody who does not shampoo daily, that does not even use product daily, but they use heat daily, they're touching up their styles, this is still a protectant for 7 to 10 shampoos, which is really, really important for hair health. It's also got shea butter, the antioxidants. We soothe the scalp and we protect the hair. So let's go all the way around. We used the scope before. We used all of the amazing products in the middle to remove the complex compounds, minerals, medication, buildup on the scalp and the hair. And then we're putting the proteins back in. Then we're showing you the after. We're showing you, okay, we just did this process. Now here's what it looks like after. So we're showing you that it works. So when you're talking about this with your clients, Healthy hair starts with a healthy scalp, and that's not just for people who have healthy hair. It's for people who have hair loss. It's for people who don't have hair at all because they still have a scalp. They still need to maintain that. So keep that in mind when you're looking at your clients. So Malibu C's Head Lab is scalp focused. We're giving you an experience they've never had. We're allowing you to pivot your business. So instead of doing a haircut, go in and do a detox treatment with Head Lab. And you're making more money, less time, and it's easier on your body. And you're staying in the wellness realm. So once you get all this done, they're going to ask you, now that this is off, how do I keep it off? That's when you walk through the door. You say, okay, we have the kits. Inside the kit, you have a shampoo, a conditioner, and 4 remedy packets. Here's how I describe the difference. When you are getting a crystal gel or crystal gel XL treatment in the salon, those are professional in-salon only processes. That's like going to the dentist and getting your teeth deep cleaned. The remedy packets, that's like brushing your teeth at home. It's still important. You still need to do it, but it will never give you the results that the full treatment will give. So my clients who maintain weekly, their processing time decreases. So instead of 20 minutes, maybe the next time it's 10, but I'm still making the same amount of revenue because I still scheduled you for a full detox. So it's all about using products that are helping you work smarter, not harder, and do it in a wellness space. So with the collections, we have a collection for multiple different categories. I focus on the scalp, so I tend to stay there. But you can see we have hard water, blondes, swimmers, wefts and extensions. We have a system for every type of hair. And then I mentioned the Metaversity a couple different times. So the Metaversity, this is self-paced learning. It's continuous content. We are always adding content. There's certification available in there. So our total oxidation management, which is just general Malibu C. And then we also have the Head Lab certification. And stylists know once we have a certification and we actually have the documentation, that affects our pricing structure. So make sure you go in and you are going from an education and business standpoint, take the certification and tell your clients you took the certification. Now you're able to provide Head Lab in a whole elevated system. So we also have an app. There's a QR code to download the app. And here is a QR code that you can scan for assets. Inside this QR code are all the assets for Head Lab. You can also find all of these assets in the Metaversity, so don't be afraid that you can't actually scan it really quick. We're not just going to flash it at you and not let you have it. So everything can be found in the Metaversity. And here's what it's going to look like when you go in. You can go into the classroom, go for the certification, and it also takes you to the website. This is what one of the classrooms looks like. So you can go into different areas. There's the salon, the gallery, which is before and afters, frequently asked questions, so your media presentations. We talk about the retail. And then my favorite part is the ingredient board, where you can literally go in and type in an ingredient, and we're going to tell you what it does and what product we use it in, because we are transparent with everything, not marketing-based, science-based. So once you've done all that, you get your certification. Now you are Head Lab certified. Now you can deal with scalp-centric issues. Now you have the tool to be able to take those pictures that Carly was talking about, or Katie was talking, both of them were talking about, to be able to participate and really get in and show your guests what's going on and help them with their wellness. So let me summarize. I know that's a lot of information in a very short period of time, but I also know this is recorded and you can watch it back. So what we've just talked about briefly is new techniques. We've given you new assets. We've given you enhanced information on science for optimal scalp health. So remember, vitamin C is ascorbic acid. You want to work with dry vitamin C, and Malibu C was the first and only in the world to use the dry activated vitamin C externally. So make sure that you let your clients know that too. With Head Lab, we incorporate it with all services. So just to give you guys some more tips on how to use this, in the salon, even though I don't do extensions, all of the extension clients are actually referred to me first. So I can do a Head Lab scope. So we can look at their scalp and see if it's healthy enough to even handle the extension. They also call me in to do consultations for corrective color services, because again, I can see if your scalp's been damaged or if your hair's been damaged. So don't think that this scope is only used for one thing. It can be used in so many different facets in the salon, even for estheticians or skincare barbers using it on the face. This scope can look at everything for you. So every single service provided will perform better because you've done the detox. We've clarified the canvas. We're really looking at the scalp health category because you guys know as well as I do, it's rapidly growing, especially in Canada. Your level of education in Canada it far surpasses multiple places that I've educated in the world. So I was really excited to be able to educate with you guys because you do thoroughly understand what's going on a completely different level. And so this tool actually helps you with that. So when you're looking at it, expand your services, you incorporate new services, new techniques, new revenue, and you become a resource for other salons too. That's something that's happened for me on accident, actually, is I've become a resource for other salons that don't deal with hair loss. And it's okay, well, Missy does Malibu and she's able to look at this. So I work in conjunction with other stylists. Like I'll take care of the scalp health of the client, but I don't want their haircut. I don't want their color. I've completely pivoted. So using a tool like this, especially in conjunction with other programs, looking at scalp health is going to do nothing but help you grow your business tremendously, tremendously. So I know it's a lot of information, and I hope I'm going to stop sharing so we can see. I can see that there's stuff in the chat and there's Q&A. So Carly or Katie, there we go. Laura started sharing. There we go. So if anybody has any questions, what do you think, Carly? Did you learn something new?
I don't even have words here. This is so exciting. Missy, thank you so much for that incredibly insightful presentation. I'm going to get to the Q&A. I just have a couple of things to tell our guests. So we are thrilled to announce that a $10 discount towards a head dab kit will be given to anyone who purchases it through CBS, Central Beauty Supply, between now and April 30th, 2024. And there's a code. Actually, Laura or Katie, I'll get you to throw that code in the chat and just give it to your sales rep to redeem the discount. And yeah, Missy, there are a lot of questions. People love this presentation. So I'm just going to throw them out for you and I'll mute myself and we'll go one at a time here.
Perfect.
So, okay. The first one was, you mentioned that 85% of households in the US have hard water. I've noticed many shower head companies promoting their filtered shower heads, claiming they can help with scalp health affected by hard water. Does using filtered water really help improve scalp health? Wow, say that 3 times fast. In areas with hard water, like what are your thoughts on this?
So my thoughts are, yes, it's going to help. Is it going to solve the problem? Absolutely not. So if somebody has one, it's always great. I know a lot of stylists recommend it, but I will say that I've personally tested those type of filters, a couple different kinds actually, and then also looked at the hair afterwards from doing the detox treatment. And I mean, yes, the filter is going to help, but it is not going to solve the problem. So don't think that a filter is going to remove the need for Malibu. It's not. It's just going to make it, it's going to make it a little bit easier.
Okay. What do you use to test your clients' water in your salon?
Oh, perfect question. So Malibu C has a hard water testing kit. So that's what I use. And I test it just to show them, okay, you're on the harder side versus the softer side. I never say you have soft water because in their mind, they think if they hear soft, that means no mineral. That just means different mineral. So in the Metaversity, there is a sheet called the Water Analysis Guide. You guys print that out, have it in the salon, use it because it will, like say you have curly hair. It's got a section that says, are you dealing with frizz? Are you dealing with this? It breaks down all of the issues that could be happening strictly because of your water. And most people don't realize, oh my gosh, it's water. So, okay.
We have about 4 more questions.
You go right ahead.
So here's one. How long does it typically take to repair scalp health and hair follicles?
That's a great question. It's going to be dependent on what they're dealing with, of course. I never, just like anything else, with hair loss especially, I'm never going to tell you that we're going to regrow your hair, that we're going to fix this problem completely. What I'm going to tell you is that we're going to get your scalp to be the healthiest version it can be, and then see where we can go from there. I can honestly tell you, though, that I have clients that sometimes it's 1 or 2 sessions of having the head lab treatments, and we can regulate things, and then I see them every 6 months. Some other clients, I have them in here every 4 weeks to have a treatment done because their cases are a little bit more severe. So I don't have anyone that it hasn't helped, but each person is going to be different. So here's how I start. When you start a regimen with me, I have you actually commit to 3 months. Give me 3 months. So what in that 3 months time, I do a head lab service once every 4 weeks. And then you're using the Malibu C Scalp collection at home and exclusively for that 3 months. So that way we can document. And then after that, again, I might not see you for another 6 months. I might see you next month, but I at least ask for the 3 month. And some people, it's kind of weird, you guys, because people are thinking of growing their business. For me, if your scalp condition gets under control and you don't see me, that's a success story for me. So I don't necessarily, that's why it's important for me to work with other stylists. So I constantly have, clients coming in.
I have so many things going on in my head. Like this just opens up, you're right, so many other streams of income, so many other doors of opportunity, which therefore create, and that stronger relationships with your clients, which therefore create more loyalty, more sustainability. This is absolutely brilliant. Looking at our Q&A, Valenta, I know that you asked a question, but I believe that it was answered in what Missy just shared with us. If not, throw in the chat that if you need a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure that was answered. And I'm actually going to look in the chat because there was some in there too. The discount and the discount code is in the chat, everybody. There is a link to find your local Central Beauty Supply to grab your head lab kit and the discount. And there's one last question.
Can I touch on that for a second, Carly, just so you guys know? So I know that the dollar is going to be different in Canada than it is in the US, but just to give you an idea of what that looks like for me in the salon. So when you get the head lab kit, you're getting the liter of Undo Goo, the liter of Miracle Repair. You're getting 2 boxes of 6 of the Crystal Gel XL, the scope, and your bottle, right? So in the US, full price, that's $99. What that equates to for me, service dollar wise, is $2,785. Think about that. And you just got a discount code for it. So there's no excuse, you guys. You need it.
I'm sorry. Did you say it's only $99 where you are?
And that's US dollars. So it's going to be, it's going to be different. But yes, I mean, think about that. Think about that.
It's a no-brainer, really. Sorry, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need it now. Okay, I have another question for you. This one's from Olivia. Aside from Malibu training, is there a separate course to take if you want to become a certified trichologist?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of great courses out there. So the 2 that I began working with, my hair loss specialist certification came through US Trichology Institute. And that one was just a simpler, I did that in 2015, I think. The full trichology certification, there's a lot of great ones. AIT is one. The one that I went through is called World Trichology Society. And actually that one was the most extensive for me because they require continuing education. And that took almost 2 years, you guys. Like, it's an investment and it's a lot of education. But I can tell you, I completely revamped my career and started with a clientele of 0, and I'm making more in a brand new salon than I was established. So I mean, and my body doesn't hurt. So it just made sense.
Well, I believe, we might have a new question.
Yay. Bring them all. I love it.
What would you charge the clients for this service? I am aware that every state and province is different, but like approximately.
Okay. So for me, and you're right, it is going to be different depending on where you are, but you always want to look at how much, first of all, it's going to cost you to do the service. So this is going to be pennies on the dollar compared to what you make. So for me in my market, and I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana, so in the middle of the US, not in a big area, but not in a small area, I charge $75 and I only book for 45 minutes. So because I use the Excel and I use the Spa Mist too, I can get you in and out in basically less than a half an hour. So $75. So $150 an hour is what that breaks down to, guys.
I love the business side of this, and I also love actually being able to really help people, and paired
Yes.
along with Sty-Lives, we can literally save lives and do
Yeah.
so much more.
You actually can. You guys, how I got started in skincare with this is my mother-in-law had cancer, and I had to actually fake a haircut because she was losing so much hair. And so cancer actually sprung me into looking at this. And we really do see things like you really can save somebody's life from seeing, they don't know what's back here. They'll never see that, but you do. And so, I mean, think about that story to know that you will affect somebody's life and you're giving them treatments based in vitamin C. I mean, come on. So you can't get more wellness than that.
Yeah. Oh, everything tonight was just super beautiful, very inspiring. I do not see any more questions, although I'm sure you'll have many more come your way. A little side note, Malibu C does not ship to Canada, and this is the reason why we partnered with Central Beauty Supply.
Yes.
I've dealt with CBS for years and years and years. Absolutely amazing people.
Yes.
Beautiful service, just the whole everything is like, oh, amazing.
Yes. Good people.
Yeah, but I guess that this includes our webinar on Scalp Science Simplified tonight. Thank you so much for joining, everybody, and learning alongside us. And this webinar was recorded, so we'll be sending you a copy by the end of the week for you to refer back to. So have a great night. Have a wonderful night, everybody, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you all.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.